Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Ultra League, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Trevenant. Trevenant, super powerful in this meta. It is so good at grabbing shields from your opponent, and it will be serving as the closer on this team. And I did intend to have it primarily as the closer, but depending on what I'm reading on my opponent's team, I will safe swap Trevenant occasionally. And also on this team, good old Giratina running Dragon Breath on the safe swap. Dragon Breath definitely seems to be the way to go these days for the large, tanky, bulky monster known as Giratina. It's effective because of all of the dark types and a lot of the normal types as well. And also on this team, the GOAT of the Ultra League right now, the literal GOAT, Cobalion on the lead. This thing is impressing me. The more I use it, it impresses me time and time again. This thing is so clutch, and that is due to its bulk, its steel typing, and its coverage. This thing is amazing. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were a lot of fun. And here we go. Tapu Fini lead. I don't like this lead when shields are up. We're just going to go into Trevenant, and I knew there was a Talonflame in the back. This is a very common team that has been around for a couple of seasons now. I figured we'd lose lead, might as well draw this thing out. Let's get this done right now. I knew there was a good chance that it would find its way to my Trevenant. So we are ripping the band-aid off, so to speak, by just getting it over with. I figured we could either do some big damage or grab a shield advantage. I really like giving Cobalion a shield advantage because it can do some amazing things if you can accomplish that. And they're throwing. This might be a bit of a misplay by our opponent. They could have definitely farmed down, but they likely wanted to just rev up that damage and build up to a Brave Bird to maybe grab our final shield, but we are on to them. Not going to let that happen. We tanked the big Brave Bird with our Giratina, and we farmed down. My goodness, that Talonflame just is like a wrecking ball. It is insane, the damage output on this thing. And they've got a Registeel in the back. This is exactly what I was reading. So now, gonna put the hope and faith into our Cobalion to maybe pull off a miracle here, my friends. We have to play near perfectly to have any chance of perhaps winning this one here. We do tank the first surf as Cobalion, quite bulky, and we will need 2 Stone Edges to take out this Tapu Fini. That's the power of Trevenant. The ability to grab those shields comes in very handy in the Ultra League. We do have to shield this surf. That would be getting us quite low. It would not KO, but it would be getting us dangerously low, and we are just going to overload a little bit and look to say bye-bye to the Tapu Fini, and now it is getting very sweaty here. I saw that the switch timer came up, guys. We're going to throw this Sacred Sword here. We're going to throw one more double kick and catch the Focus Blast on our low health Giratina. Holy smokes, guys. Had to make this play to pull this one out. My goodness. And now it is all but over. This Registeel does not have a prayer of making it to another Focus Blast. My goodness, Cobalion. So clutch. This thing is so impressive, and it's allowing us to say bye-bye to the Registeel. Holy smokes. Guys, these battles, you're in for a treat. These battles were pretty sweaty. So, yeah, good game, well played to our opponent. I'm telling you guys, we were getting hammered with awful leads nonstop, but this team just refuses to lose. And here we go. One example of that, Galvantula on the lead, so we're going to try and catch what we thought was a discharge, but no. They were going to lunge our steel fighting type, so not off to a good start with this one, and the headache continues because they've got a Powder Snow A9. Probably the worst matchup for a Dragon Breath Giratina in this meta, but we are trying our very best here. Going for the Shadow Sneak, and they're just going to Powder Snow us down. Holy smokes. We don't want to tank a Dazzling Gleam with Stab. It does hit for neutral, but it hits for a lot of neutral damage on our Cobalion. So gonna throw the Sacred Sword and try to farm down with neutral double kicks. We are going to have to let this one go. Does quite a bit to our Cobalion, and we are down a shield, and our health is quite compromised. Going to make a play back into our Trevenant, and they've got an Alolan Mug. You got to be kidding me. This one is quite literally impossible, guys. The RPS phenomenon strikes yet again, and we are not here for that. We top left that RPS nonsense. Good game to our opponent. I gotta say, guys, Trevenant and Cobalion make quite the duo in this current meta, but here we go. Another Tapu Fini lead. We're gonna play this just like we did the first one. Let's rip off the Band-Aid. Show us the Talonflame. There it is, right on cue. A very common pairing in the Ultra League, so we're just gonna look to do big damage or grab shields, just like we did, and they let that go. Holy smokes, I don't advise that, and we would not normally shield, but because they took that big Shadow Ball, guys, I'm seeing an opportunity to load up on energy and farm down the Talonflame. We had to go down a shield, but we can now control the alignment, and we've got loaded energy Trevenant. As dangerous as any Pokemon with loaded energy, and look at this. They are core broken by Trevenant. We are getting off that big Shadow Ball on the Cresselia and going to maximize our Shadow Claw damage by playing to the CMP tie. And we do get off that Seed Bomb. Holy smokes, look at the damage that Trevenant was able to do to this team. They are holding on to those shields, but let's see if we can make something happen here. Gonna look to farm down with our Giratina. They aggro swap back into the Tapu Fini. That is a good answer to Dragon Breath Giratina. It can make things quite difficult, but gonna go for the Shadow Sneak here, and we're gonna let them dump their Moonblast on our Giratina. It is it's a bit of dead weight with the Tapu Fini on the team here, and now we're gonna put it all on Cobalion. So now things have changed here, guys. I like Cobalion's chances here. As long as we can successfully bait those shields, I think we have a chance here, and we do successfully bait there. Gonna let this Surf go here. We definitely tank a Surf, no problem. The reason why things have changed is because Tapu Fini is now basically their only Pokemon left. I was expecting a catch here, so we're gonna undercharge this Sacred Sword here to get more farm, guys. We have to have loaded energy to threaten that Tapu Fini. We have to bait that final shield. We cannot risk them shielding a Stone Edge. That would be catastrophic for us. So we do successfully bait there, and now it is looking like GG's, guys. You have to... My goodness, no league forces you to play perfectly, quite like the Ultra League. My goodness, Ultra League's a different animal, I'm telling you guys. And now they will fall to a single double-resisted Dragon Breath. I'm telling you, had to play out of my mind for a lot of these battles, but it makes for a very fun video for you guys. Good game, well played. Telling you guys, those of you wondering how to play out of bad leads, please study these battles, guys, because the bad leads were coming in left, right, and center. Had a Cresselia on the lead. We make a play into our safe swap Giratina, and they meet us with an Obstagoon. This is why I think Dragon Breath is kind of the way to go these days, especially on the lead or on the safe swap. It gives you much better play up against dark and normal types, and we've got both all in one terrifying package in the form of Obstagoon here. So what we're going to do here is play this very carefully. We know that we comfortably tank these Night Slashes. We're not going to let another one through, and we're going to fight hard for switch here. So they do make it to another one, and we will start shielding now. And look to get off the Dragon Claw and maybe get rid of the Obstagoon in the process. We know that we can win this in the 2-shield with Dragon Breath, guys. Again, why it's seemingly to be the way to go. I generally recommend Shadow Claw, but there are a lot of dark and normal types in this meta, guys. And Dragon Breath just gives you a fighting chance. And here we go. We are now drawing both shields from the Obstagoon. We will return the shield. And like I said, quite confident, and I know that we can win this in the 2 shield, no problem. And there you have it, just like that. Flip and switch with Dragon Breath Tina. You love to see it. We've got loaded energy here, and they come in with a Talonflame, so this is fine. We're just going to look to unleash these Dragon Claws onto the Talonflame. We are low on health, but we are quite bulky, and we do resist this fast move pressure. We get to another Dragon Claw, and this will be doing even more chip damage on the Talonflame. And they, holy smokes, they fully farmed down our Giratina. That is scary. That means this bird requires a sacrifice, my friends, and we've got to throw our Cobalion in here. Let them just take us out and hope for the best with our Trevenant. That's the play here now. They do dump all of their energy, and now it's time for Trevenant to shine here, guys. They catch the Seed Bomb onto their Cresselia, but that is fine. Knowing what we have here, that Talonflame is quite low, and we know that a Shadow Ball does a metric ton of damage to this Psychic-type Cresselia. We'll hit for massive super effective damage, and we know that we live a Moonblast from this range. This Trevenant is thoroughly excelled, and we're just going to overload as much as we possibly can and throw the Shadow Ball here. We are 1 Shadow Claw off from the Seed Bomb, and we get to it. Holy smokes, Trevenant, as clutch as it gets. We are saying bye-bye to the Flaming Bird of Terror, and holy smokes, Trevenant. Oh my goodness, so strong in the Ultra League right now. Good game, well played. Man, those were some fun and sweaty bonus battles, but we now move into the featured set of the video and picking up another awful lead in the form of Cresselia. We could not buy a favorable lead in these battles, guys. It was insane. But it just makes us that much better in terms of our skill and gameplay. It's nice to have a bit of a challenge these days, and here we go. They catch onto the Cobalion. We made an aggressive play into our Giratina, and they stayed in quite a bit. We did have to shield up that Moonblast. I was thinking that they were weak to us in the back, but not necessarily, especially when we're running Dragon Breath. If we're running Shadow Claw, this is a lot better for Giratina, and they go Stone Edge. We tank that all day, no problem, and we are fully loaded on energy. Going to go for the Shadow Sneak here, and they don't have to shield a thing from our Giratina because they are resisting this fast move pressure. But I do still think that Dragon Breath is the way to go, especially on the safe swap or on the lead with Giratina. And we are slowly but surely chipping away at this very tanky fighting steel type known as Cobalion. We tank another Stone Edge, no problem, and they combo play us. Win con spotted, my friends. They're locked in. They don't know what we have in the back, and I don't think that's going to work out for them. Maybe a bit of a panic there, I don't know. But we now have our Trevenant locked onto this Cresselia. It is a thing of beauty. They can go Moonblast all they want. We tank that, no problem. We cannot tank a second one, though. Gonna just overload as much as we dare. We are maxed on energy and gonna look to put the Cresselia out of its misery with a Seed Bomb, and that does KO. We are still down a shield, below 50% health, and they've got a Giratina running Shadow Claw of their own in the back. So get a bait here with the Seed Bomb, hopefully even up the shielding scenario, and now we should have gone a little sooner into our Cobalion. We were a little indecisive there. And they are absolutely loaded on energy, but we tank anything. Whoa, they go Shadow Force? What? Hello? They're running Shadow Force on their Giratina. Tried to catch onto their Cobalion. Not gonna happen. That was quite insane and quite amusing to see. My goodness. I don't recommend it, but makes for a lot of fun to watch. And now we're just going to go for these Stone Edges here. It is getting quite close. That's the power of Cobalion, guys. They're double resisting this fast move pressure, but Cobalion can hang with the best of them. They're getting quite low. Going to go for the Sacred Sword. Doesn't quite KO. And we recognize that they were in sniping range. Was not expecting them to throw, but that Shadow Claw gets through, which means that we win. Trevenant coming in clutch with the snipe, taking out the Giratina. That's going to be a good game, well played. Telling you guys, this Trevenant team refuses to lose, guys. Had to play perfectly to win. Oh, finally, a good lead. Holy smokes. We had a Walrein. They aggro swap into a Cresselia, and here we go. We got the Trevenant on the Psychic type. You'll love to see it. Holy smokes. We finally got a good lead. Would you believe that, my friends? Holy smokes. They go for the Moonblast. We know that we tank that, and going to look to overload and go for the Shadow Ball here. They are at another Moonblast, and we do want to control the alignment with that lead. It came in the form of Walrein, so we will shield their Moonblast here and look to go for the farm down. Really load up on energy. Not quite sure what else they could have in the back, but I have full faith in Trevenant with loaded energy to do something amazing here. Let's see. They've got a Talonflame, so we are loaded. Going to throw here. I don't think we timed this correctly, but I don't think that we would have made it to another Shadow Ball if we did either way. Those Incinerates would stab far too oppressive on our Trevenant, and now we're going to throw Giratina in here to just go to work with these Dragon Breaths. They can be quite oppressive, as many of you may all know by now. They go Brave Bird. We tank that all day because we're about as bulky as it gets. And I'm going to throw this to Chip. This was intentional, and now we will come back in with our Cobalion. And you got to recognize where your opponents have to shield and where they have to make a call, guys. We're going to go for this big Stone Edge, knowing that they have a Talonflame, and they would likely need the shield for the Talonflame. This could be EQ, but guys, we tank that. We are quite bulky. Cobalion is the real deal, I'm telling you guys. And they have to throw because we will threaten with a double super effective Stone Edge, which would be lights out for them, and that is fine. I like our chances on an even shield scenario with a Talonflame. We're resisting this fast move pressure. Gonna go for the Dragon Claw here. They don't really have to shield it, but they kind of do because the Dragon Breaths, yeah, would be lights out for them. And all we have to do now, my friends, is shield up this potential move here. It is just a flame charge, but we are quite low, and we will outpace to the Dragon Claw. Holy smokes. I tell you, this team puts in the work. Trevenant's amazing. Giratina says bye-bye to the Talonflame, and we take it out. Good game, well played to our opponent. Yeah, guys, Trevenant and Cobalion seem to make for a solid 1-2 punch in the Ultra League. And here we go. Another bad lead. Deoxys on the lead. We make a play into our Giratina, and they meet us with a Scrafty. Again, guys. This is why Dragon Breath really gives you a fighting chance on the safe swap. This is another one that we can pretty comfortably win in the 2-shield, and that's what we're going to do. We shielded up the foul play. They do have to bait to flip this, but a lot of opponents just go for that big foul play. So you are pretty safe to shield and play out the 2-shield if that's what they're giving you, and that is what they are giving us. They are now starting the shield. We know that we tank one. We can't tank 2 of these, so we're going to let this one go. They are getting quite low, and we're going to give them an out here. We're going to go for this Dragon Claw and see if they want to give us switch advantage. And they don't, so this is fine. We will just have to shield up their next potential foul play. And again, this is how you flip switch against the dark and normal types with Dragon Breath Tina. We shield that successfully, and we farm down. Shields are now down on both ends, which can be quite scary if you've got a Trevenant lurking in the back, but had to control the alignment. They've got a G-Fisk left in the back, so this is looking pretty good for us. Get an aggro swap back into our Cobalion. We know that we tank an EQ. And the reason why we were comfortable in doing this is because that DD can do nothing to our Trevenant, and we know that we can do quite well against G-Fisk as well. So just going to go for this Stone Edge, and the game kind of robbed us of an opportunity to get off some big, super effective damage. I don't know if you guys saw that. Maybe run it back. You will see that we hit our charge move, but the game didn't allow it to trigger the CMP event, which was quite frustrating at the time. We throw our Giratina back in onto this DD because we knew that we live these double super effective counters. They don't have stab long enough to get off that super effective damage. And now we can Shadow Claw this thing down, get ahead on energy on the DD. I was expecting a Psycho Boost, but no, they go for the resisted Thunderbolt. Maybe a single moved Deoxys? I don't know. And they do top left. It was just about lights out for them. Trevenant was going to gobble up that G-Fisk. A good game, well played to our opponent. My goodness, Trevenant can absolutely put in the work. It is amazing. And here we go. G-Fisk on the lead. Pretty good lead for us. But we don't know what else they have in the back. We do know that we tank an EQ. It's not fun, but we do tank it. So going to look to put the pressure on them early. Go for the Sacred Sword here, and they let that go. We will not let their EQ go because Cobalion has a lot of value in this Ultra League meta. And it looks like they're trying to lose lead here. So we will give them that out and go for the Sacred Sword. But no, they shield. That means they've got something to hide, so it's Giratina time. We are even on shields, and we draw out the normal type. Okay, so we are well ahead on energy. They stayed in for quite a bit to load up on energy. And we are just going to go for these Dragon Claws nonstop on the tanky Squirrel here. And we can definitely tank a couple of their crunches, no problem. And that is exactly what we'll do. We want to preserve a shield for Trevenant. Not sure what else they could have in the back. So far, they're double weak to a fighter. So what we're going to look to do here is time a catch. We're going to throw the Dragon Claw here. And they are at their crunch now. So we catch that onto our fighter, Cobalion. Maximizing energy and effort. That seems to be the way you get success in the Ultra League right now, guys, because a lot of trainers have gotten a lot better in terms of their skill level. And they've got a Giratina Origin. Very interesting. You don't see these too often in the Ultra League. They are much more commonly seen in the Open Master League. I think that's where it belongs. It doesn't quite have the bulk in the Ultra League. And they do take us out. So we're going to come in with our Giratina. We are low on health, but we did have some residual energy. And going to put the pressure on this Giratina Origin here with the threat of a Dragon Claw. And we want to get in more of those super effective Dragon Breaths. We now have a shield advantage for Trevenant, and that is the key to success if you're going to run Trevenant in this meta. You give it a shield, and it can pull off some miracles, I'm telling you. Oh, thank you, trainer. We will gladly take this energy that you are giving us. I don't know why they threw that greed in, but it got farmed down and allowed us to absolutely load up on energy, making Trevenant even more lethal than it already was. This Stunfisk can do nothing, especially at this health range. They can throw all the rock slides they want, guys. They need 3 to KO in the Ultra League, especially if your Trevenant is an XL. So we're going to max out our energy. That will allow us to get off a Seed Bomb and say bye-bye to the G-Fisk and get off a Shadow Ball to finish off that Giratina Origin. The key to success with Trevenant, energy management and knowing your matchups. And looks like they force closed the app, but it will not help them. We are still taking this victory with our Trevenant. You love to see it. Trevenant is an absolute monster. It terrorizes the Ultra League. Good game, well played. To dust off the Trevenant for the Ultra League, and yeah, it was amazing. Trevenant pulls off miracles in this meta. It's amazing, guys. And here we go. We had a Alola Ninetales. They aggro swap into a Jellicent, and we've got a decent answer to this Jellicent in the form of our Trevenant here. And absolutely shield up the potential Shadow Ball. If we tried to, get a little cheeky and call a bait, that could have been quite catastrophic for us. So glad we made the right call there. Gonna go for the Shadow Ball, and they let it go. That was quite interesting to see. Likely wanting to charm us down, but guys, with the charm nerf, it works wonders for Season 13 because it makes it a lot more difficult for these charmers, which I am thoroughly in favor of. Just going to throw with proper timing to maximize our efforts and our energy here, allowing us to get to 2 Shadow Balls and grabbing 2 shields. You love to see it. That's the power of Trevenant in the Ultra League. And now we can bring in our Cobalion. We do take neutral damage from these charms, but we are quite bulky, which is why Cobalion is quite effective and is absolutely the real deal in the Ultra League right now. They do catch our Stone Edge onto a Defense Form Deoxys. It will not help them because we've got a large tanky ghost dragon here for this Deoxys. They realize that and they promptly top left. That DD could do nothing to our Giratina, and look at that, guys. Had to work some overtime and pull off some miracles to pull off this 5-0, but we did it in the end, and that's what it's all about in Pokemon Go Battle League. I'm telling you guys, Trevenant can put in the work. I don't know how many lead losses we had, but they were a lot more than the favorable leads, and we were able to still pull it out with our Trevenant. So this was a showcase of how to play out of lead losses, guys. If you're wondering, scratching your head, maybe knocking your head against the wall if you're getting hard countered on the lead, definitely do study these battles and see how to play out of lead losses. A lot of them are playable, but some, as we saw, are impossible. You just have to do your very best. But do study these lead losses, and hopefully it can help you guys succeed. Trevenant was amazing. Cobalion, always amazing. This team, quite powerful, as we saw in this video. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.